Welcome to First Call's training on workplace violence. In this video, we will discuss how to identify, avoid, and respond to potential workplace violence situations. Workplace violence includes any act or threat of violence, harassment, intimidation, or other threatening behavior at your worksite. It can range from threats and verbal abuse to physical assaults. While rare, workplace violence does happen, so it's important to be prepared. Each of our associates is an essential ingredient to the success and growth of First Call Temporary Services. We are proud of our associates and the effort they make to ensure the continued success of our company. Your safety is a primary concern, and we are committed to providing a safe working environment for you. In order to protect our employees, we do not permit a hostile work environment. If you observe or experience any graphic or threatening comments towards an individual, intimidating acts like hitting, shoving, or destroying property, written or graphic material that degrades, devalues, or shows hostility towards other, or unwelcome physical acts such as touching, assault, blocking, or impeding the movement of another person, report this immediately to your manager or the corporate office. When it comes to workplace violence, there are four main types of perpetrators: strangers, customers or clients, coworkers, and personal relations like domestic partners. Risk factors that can increase the chance of violence include working with the public, late hours, handling money, working alone or in small groups, and working in high crime areas. Some warning signs to look out for include threats, intimidation, sabotaging equipment, drug or alcohol abuse, and significant personality changes in coworkers. If you observe any of these signs, report them to your manager. Your workplace should have preventative measures in place, like controlling access to the facility, security systems like cameras, and a zero-tolerance policy for threats and violence. If you find yourself in a situation with an upset or threatening individual, your safety always comes first. Position yourself so that you can exit the room easily if needed. However, there are some de-escalation techniques you can use to diffuse the situation. This is a situation where we want to fight fire with water. First, remain calm. Take slow, deep breaths to control your own fear response. Speak in a low, steady, and calm voice. Make sure your facial expressions and body language are as neutral and non-threatening as possible. Don't cross your arms, point your fingers, or glare at the person. Validate their feelings by giving them a chance to vent. Make an effort to actively listen to their concerns. Maintain eye contact to show you are paying attention. Nod your head and give verbal affirmations like "I see" or "I understand." Ask open-ended questions like "You are obviously very upset about this. What about this situation would you like to be different?" You can also rephrase what they said back to them to confirm you comprehend their viewpoint. For example, "It sounds like you feel very disrespected and unappreciated right now. Is that right?" At this point, we are trying to put out the fire. Establish clear boundaries for acceptable behavior. Say something like, "I want us to be able to discuss this respectfully. Threats and yelling are not okay. If you can't speak to me calmly, I will need to end this conversation." State specific consequences if they cross those boundaries. For example, leaving the room, calling your manager, or notifying security. You can also attempt to redirect their anger by politely asking them to sit down with you in a quiet room away from others. Offer them a glass of water. Suggest taking a short break from the heated conversation so you can both calm down before continuing. Recommend speaking with a supervisor who may be able to address their concerns. If the situation continues to escalate, do not stay alone with a threatening person. Maintain a safe distance of at least an arm's length. Know where the nearest exit is, and don't let the person stand between the exit and you. Be alert for when it is time to get your manager or to call 911. If you don't feel safe in the moment, then it's time to engage others and get yourself to safety. In an active shooter situation, remember avoid, deny, defend. First, avoid the situation if at all possible and evacuate. Consider all means of escape, including back doors and windows. If escape is not possible, deny access to the shooter by locking doors and barricading yourself. Be active in denying the shooter access to you and those who have chosen to hide with you. Active participation in saving oneself is an ongoing process. so be constantly looking for what can be done next in this situation. Hiding and covering your face will not stop the inevitable, but barriers can.
Active shooter events can occur anywhere at any time, and frequently involve individuals attempting to kill others indiscriminately. These events are unpredictable and can evolve quickly. For this reason, whenever you enter a building as an employee, guest, or customer, you must be prepared and know what it is you will do if faced with the worst-case scenario, even if it's just another day at the office.
Last night, every time I closed my eyes, all I could see were slide decks.
Don't remind me. Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything?
Hey, you got a minute to catch me up on that thing?
Yeah, come on in. Is Amelia here too?
Let me grab her, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
When startled by a gunshot, it's a natural human reaction to freeze. Unfortunately, this response leaves you vulnerable to what might come next. If you see someone frozen in place in this type of situation, make your best attempt to assist them.
I think it's critical that we find a way to make sure this doesn't happen again. We've wasted way too much time.
That's gunfire.
Are you sure that was a gunshot?
That's gunfire.
Was it really a gunshot? Call the police.
Move over there. Come on, get away from the door.
If you can't easily evacuate, the best option is to hide. Lock the door, stay close to the ground, and try to find cover from any stray gunfire that may penetrate the walls. If you're able, call 911.
What was that?
Sounded like a gunshot. What should we do?
Come on. Let's get out of here.
When possible, the best alternative in an active shooter event is to run. If your path is clear and you can safely reach an exit, evacuate as soon as possible. Of course, some may not have such easy access to a safe exit. In these situations, you must decide for yourself whether it is best to evacuate or to hide. As with any of these options, if you do choose to run, commit to this action. And remember, police will be arriving to assist you and to evacuate the wounded, so be sure to keep your hands up and empty as you clear the building. Otherwise, put simply, don't stop running. Once clear of danger, make contact with 911 to assist their response by providing them information about the shooter, the weapons they're carrying, and the amount of wounded that may still need medical assistance. If you have been unable to evacuate and are trapped in the facility during an active shooter situation, remember, making the decision to hide does not prevent you from putting up a fight later. If you are confronted by the active shooter, you have to assume that your actions are all that stand between yourself, your colleagues, and grave harm. Fight for your life. Search around you for sharp or heavy objects that you may use to disable the attacker. Collaborate with those around you to ensure you aren't acting alone. You're taking action for your survival, so do not hold back, and do not stop fighting until you know beyond certainty that you are safe. Committing to run, to hide, or to fight will keep you safer than if you freeze during a crisis. Remember to prioritize your safety. If you come across those who are wounded and may need assistance, assist them if you can, but do not let them inhibit your escape. As an individual, the most important thing you can do to keep yourself safe, whether it is to run, hide, or to fight, is to commit to your decision and to continuously reevaluate the situation. If you own a business or operate a large public facility, you may be able to better enable individual response to such events by identifying emergency escape routes and exits. Use this information to design evacuation plans that can be used by employees and guests to your facility. Reach out to law enforcement to see if they'll come to your facility and assist you in drafting your response plan or guide you to training that may assist employees in their survival. Remember, this training may be the difference between life or death. See about technology you may be able to incorporate to make your facility safer, which may include audio or visual cues for those with access and functional needs. Plan for and train your employees to assist those who may not be able to run, hide, or fight. Equip them with a first aid or a go kit, an emergency ladder in case you're not on the first story, and explore the possibility of mass notification technologies, which may enable you to alert those in the area of any present dangers. Of course, the hope is that neither you nor any of your friends or colleagues will ever be confronted with an active shooter situation. However, should the worst case occur, know that you can always run, hide, or fight. For more information and resources in active shooter preparedness and response, please visit dhs.gov/active-shooter-preparedness, including DHS's new Active Shooter Preparedness Virtual Learning Center, a feature-length video sponsored by the Department of Homeland Security that can teach you how to mitigate, respond to, and better react if confronted with an active shooter event.
Hopefully, you will never experience an event like this. Prevention is always the better option. Make sure to report any and all concerns to management so they can address the situation early on. By being alert and prepared, we can work together to prevent tragedy. Please direct any additional concerns to your manager. Let's all be safe out there.